Dystopia versus Utopia. In your L&B under the Bellwork tab, can you list some problems with our society? Now think about a perfect society. In your L&B in the Bellwork section, how would your society, if you had ultimate control, how would you make it perfect? So how would you take the problems and eradicate them? For example, poverty. To solve the problem of poverty, would you do away with money altogether? Or maybe give everyone equal amount of money? Would that solve the problem of some being poor and some being rich? So we're trying to imagine a perfect society, a utopia. You can pause this video and take your time to get that done. A utopia is the opposite of a dystopia. It is a society possessing highly desirable or perfect qualities. The term has been used to describe both intentional communities that attempted to create an ideal society, and of course fictional, fake societies portrayed in literature. Sometimes a fictional story may seem utopic, but upon closer examination could actually be a dystopia. So take a moment and watch this film. It is an excerpt from Pleasantville, which is an example of a utopia. However, by the end of the film, society is not as perfect as it seems. Watch the video below to see what a utopia looks like and how it can change. Can you name any other movies, shows, novels, or even historical events where you would see a utopia or a utopian genre? So now let's talk about a dystopia. It is a fictional society that is in some important way undesirable or frightening. Such societies appear in many works of fiction, particularly in stories set in the future. Dystopians are often characterized by these: dehumanization, totalitarian governments, environmental disaster, decline in society, technology versus humanity. A dystopian fiction is often used to raise real-world concerns that may become present in the future. For example, pollution, poverty, political repression, totalitarianism. So take a moment to watch this film that helps you recognize a dystopia. Hunger Games by Susan Collins is an example of dystopian novel. It presents a totalitarian world where children are pitted against each other to the death. Watch the video below to see what a dystopia looks like. Can you name any other movies, TV shows, novels that use the genre dystopia? Science fiction. Science fiction is a genre of fiction dealing with imaginative content such as futuristic settings, futuristic science, and technology. Science fiction has been used by authors as a device to discuss philosophical ideas such as identity, desire, morality, and social structure. Science fiction is largely based on writing rationally about alternative possible worlds or futures. It is similar to, but differs from, fantasy in that within the context of the story, it is imaginary elements are largely possible. The Giver, the next novel that we will begin reading, follows conventions from each of these genres. As we begin reading this novel, please consider which characteristics of an utopia and/or a dystopia are present in the novel.